Namaskaram all, and let's start chapter number 4, exemption from GST. One of the most important chapter because it contains a lot of exemptions for industry. So industry is very much happy with this chapter. Till now we were just discussing about what is taxable and what is taxable. In this chapter we are going to discuss what is not taxable. And majority of these goods are used by common people on day-to-day life, and therefore government have given them a certain amount of exemption, and that because of those exemption many people are feeling GST is a good tax because their daily use commodities are kept outside the levy of tax, or you can say outside the collection of tax. So what's the background, quick background of this chapter? Offline I have already told you what is the background, but let's discuss this background one more time. So GST is a comprehensive law. This we have concluded so far. Okay. Whatever chapters we have discussed till now, one thing is for sure, GST is a comprehensive law. That means everything is taxable in GST. You can possibly not by heart what is a taxable in GST law, and this is what I have told you multiple times. GST is a comprehensive law. So what do you mean by comprehensive law? Comprehensive law means if this is the environment or this is the circle of goods and services, if this is a circle of goods and services, almost everything is taxable, all taxable. Please understand, all goods and services which are there in this environment, everything is taxable, and therefore whole universe is taxable. Whole universe of goods and services uh, are taxable in GST law. But with this, with first three chapters, you have understood at least this much. From the definition of goods, there are exclusions. Okay, there are exclusions to definition of goods and services, and those the two exclusions are, first is money and second is security. So this we have discussed in definition of goods and services, that money and securities are not taxable because they are excluded from the definition of goods and services. The second thing that you should understand is exclusion from levy. Exclusion from section 9(1). Exclusion from section 9(1), that means exclusion from levy, and that was alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption cannot be exempted because it is not taxable at all. The levy itself says we are not going to tax alcoholic liquor for human consumption, and same is written in Constitution of India when they brought GST law, that alcoholic liquor for human consumption shall remain a state subject. It should not become a common subject under GST law. That's fine. Apart from this, what is not taxable? So till now you have understood three things are not taxable. Any transaction money is not taxable. Any transaction in share market, security market is not taxable. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption is not taxable. Apart from that, what do you know which is not taxable? So you need to know, we have discussed section 7. Section 7 is supply, and section 7 subsection 2. Section 7 subsection 2, clause A. Clause A refers Schedule 3. Clause A refers Schedule 3. This is referred by section 7 subsection 2 clause A. In Schedule 2, it is written there are certain activities which are neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Okay, neither supply of goods, neither goods nor services. So it is neither supply of goods nor supply of services, and there are 6 activities that we have discussed, and we have remembered their name as ECAF. Right? Services of employee to employer during the course of employment, court fees, constitutional function, or this what you say, actionable claim excluding betting, lottery, and gambling. Then L stands for your land and building, but except schedule 2 para D, para 5B, and F is funeral, burial, and crematorium. So all those activities which are given in this and this and this, these are the 3 exit route. First exit route, second exit route, and third exit route. If you are going through these 3 exit routes, then you are not liable to pay tax on these activities. Apart from these three, everything is under GST law. Apart from all these three, exclusion from supply, exclusion from levy, and exclusion of definition of goods and services. If you are doing anything for a consideration in the course of business, if you are supplying any goods or services for a consideration in the course of business, then definitely there will be levy of GST. Then before starting this lecture, we have discussed some of the exclusions, like why tea vendor is not charging you tax, why small salon or small beauty parlor is not taking GST from you, why some stationery shop is not charging GST from you. So reason to those is very different, because under GST law, you are not supposed to get mandatory registered as per section 22 unless and until you touch your turnover of 20 lakh or 40 lakh. In special state, it is a 10 lakh. So many people, many business vendors are not registered under GST. Therefore, they are not charging the GST law, GST tax. So I'm trying to summarize what are the possibilities, what are the other possibilities under which GST is not charged from you. Okay. So maybe the dealer is not registered dealer. Maybe there is no consideration in services. Maybe it is not a business. These all things we have discussed. Maybe it is one of the negative list item. Maybe it is alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Maybe it is exclusion from levy. And one more exclusion is there from levy, and that's petroleum product. How could I forget petroleum product? 5 petroleum product which are given in section 9(2). 5 petroleum product. What are those 5 petroleum product? Petroleum crude, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, okay, then motor spirit commonly known as petrol, and high speed diesel. High speed diesel. On this 5 product, GST will be levied from such a date. GST will be levied from such date, okay, as notified by government on the recommendation of council. That means on these many products we don't have GST. So please understand what are the reasons of not charging GST. First, it might be a money or security. Second reason, it can be alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Third, it can be one of the exclusion to supply, which is the negative list of supply. Then it might be a you can say a petroleum product. So these are the legal reasons. Okay. Apart from that, the dealer is not a registered dealer as per section 22. He has not obtained the registration, therefore he is not charging the GST. One of the black transaction, that the dealer is getting cash from you, and because he is getting cash from you, he is not raising GST noise. Though he is registered, but he is not raising a GST noise. He is selling you. It's a bogus sale. What you can say, it's a sale which is not recorded in the books of accounts, and therefore he is not charging GST. So I'm telling you what are the other reasons of not charging GST. But please understand, if the supplier is making, if a registered person is supplying goods or services or both for a consideration in the course of business, and this is not covered by any of the above paragraphs, then definitely there is a levy of tax. Definitely there is a levy of tax. So auto rickshaw guy, yes, he's a registered person. Assume he's a registered person, auto rickshaw, okay, supplying services for a consideration and in the course of business. Is it taxable? Hospital, is it taxable? Education institution, is it taxable? So no, education institution exempt, hospital exempt, doctor exempt, where you go for taking your reports, blood test and all, that is exempt. Okay. Then lot of food and consumables are exempt. Vegetables are exempt, eggs exempt, fish exempt, meat exempt. So many products are exempt. So when we say exempt means exactly what? So on all those products, there is a levy of law, but government under section 11 of CGST Act and section 6 of IGST, that is the comparative section. Section 11 of CGST Act gets a power. Central government is having power. That power can be invoked on a recommendation of council. Okay, and government can issue certain notification. By using this power, government have already issued one of the most important notification in the industry, that is notification number 12/2017, 12/2017, CTR 12/2017, CTR dated 20th June 2017. So 12/2017 CTR dated 20th June 2017, government have issued notification that these are the services which should not be taxable under the or GST law. Now, so far as syllabus is concerned, please understand, I always teach you from CA module, but in CA module only exempted services are covered. In CA module only exempted services are covered. Why this is not allowing me to write? Give me a second. Yeah, in CA module, please understand, there are two types of exemption: exemption of goods and exemption of services. In our professional exam, whether it is CA, CS, CMA, particularly CA exam, they are focused on services, not on goods. Okay, our examinations are focused on services, not on goods. In CMA examination, even goods are important, but not that. The primary, the more importance in this chapter you should give to services, and the secondary importance you should give to goods. Goods you should know for general knowledge. So let's look at this. So section 11 give this power. Section 11 give this power to exempt lot of commodities in a public interest. So look at this. I'm not going to read the whole legal law. Power to grant exemption. This power is given to government, and this has to be in a public interest. Yes, sir. How? What is the method? So by passing a notification, okay, and that exemption can be absolutely or subject to such condition. So exemption can be conditional or unconditional. So majority time exemption will be a conditional only, and it can be a partial exemption as well as full exemption. As of now in GST law we are having full exemption. Partial exemption has not come. Okay, as may be notified by the government. Okay, sometime in country there might be a need of an hour where the immediate exemption has to be passed, and government does not have time to take GST council's approval and this and that. There's a legal procedure behind it. So government, central government, sole, they are having power to pass a special order, and the special order can pass only in the special circumstances. Okay, and in special circumstances, government can pass this order and give the exemption to certain industry for a particular period of time, not unlimited period of time. Okay, let's look at this chart. So look at this chart. Whatever legal provision we have read above is given here in chart. The government may generally exempt supply of goods or services of any particular description on a recommendation of obviously GST Council by way of notification, either absolutely or subject to condition, wholly or partly, with effect from such date as notified in the exemption notification. And sometimes this is normal process, but sometimes it is an extreme emergency in the country. The government may exempt any goods or services on which a tax is leviable from the payment by a special order on the recommendation of GST Council under circumstances of an exceptional nature to be stated in the order, and it has to be in a public interest. That's okay. This is just a power. Power is not that much, important to us. Explanation inserted within 1 year for the purpose of clarifying scope and applicability of notification have to have retrospective effect. So sometime in the broad exemption, there might be an ambiguity, or the exemption may not be clear, it might be confusing. So government, after passing the exemption notification after some time, what government does, they pass a explanatory note. Now that explanatory note should applicable prospectively or retrospectively. So they are saying if it is issued within 1 year, then we should understand the explanation to that provision should become effective since the date of this passing notification. That means it will have retrospective application. That's okay. That's just an explanation given to you. And they are saying similar provisions are given in IGST law under section 6. Okay, not identical but similar. Okay, fine. So look at some of the examples of examples. It is not a law. They are just giving examples. Live fish is exempt. Fresh milk is exempt. Potatoes are exempt. Grapes exempt. Indian national flag exempt. This you should remember. I'm going to give you a lot of example by using base of Indian national flag. Okay, plastic bangles exempt. Now I don't know why I say have given you images also. I believe people who are studying this at intermediate level, they know what is fish, what is milk, what is potato, what is grapes, and national flag and plastic bangle. Still, maybe institute feel that we have to give you a imaginary, what do you say, image understanding, so that students will get it better. And then they write a beautiful note here. Student may go through the complete list of goods exempted from GST's CBIC website. Okay, sir, you can go to this website, CBIC website. So why will we go there? To understand it? For your knowledge purpose. Now, I'm pretty sure nobody here is much interested into knowledge. They are interested into exam oriented things. So that's all. This is for exam oriented. Now allow me to jump to the CMA module, and I would like to discuss few more exempted goods. Though I'm teaching you or I'm discussing with you, it's not teaching only. I'll just read the list of exemption. I told you exemption means there is a levy but no collection. Exemption means what? Exemption means government have levied the tax, parliament have levied the tax, but government by using their power have exempted the tax. Exempted tax means there is a levy but no collection. There is a levy but no collection. The tax is levied but tax cannot be collected. So government have given special power. Sir, can you explain in a similar term, simpler terms? Yes, I can explain in a simpler term. Say for example, your intermediate fee is 50,000. Okay, your intermediate fee is 50,000 rupees. But because you are our foundation student and you have scored very good mark in foundation and we wanted to retain you with us, so we may say, okay, out of 50,000, 30,000 can be given as a discount or a exemption. This is a partial exemption, and therefore you need to pay only 20,000 rupees. Okay, but the condition here is this. You need to get more than 80% in CA foundation or foundation examination. Okay, so this exemption is a conditional one and it's a partial one. Conditional and partial exemption. Okay, so this is what you need to understand, that government also have this power to give the exemption. So this 50, when exemption is useful, when 50,000 is payable, then only exemption is useful. If I say to CS student, okay, your chemistry fee is exempted or your biology fee is exempted, or if you score good mark in taxation in intermediate level, I will exempt your mathematics fees in final. So you will get confused. So why are you exempting biology, chemistry and mathematics fees to us? Those subjects are not even applicable to us. That's all. That's the point I'm trying to justify here. If you are having levy on your head, then only there is a use of exemption. If there is no levy, no need of exemption. So whatever points we are going to discuss in exemption chapter, please understand, if we don't give exemption to them, they are by default taxable. We are giving exemption because by default they are taxable. In fact, you need to understand in this way. So let's look at the certain goods which are exempted, and we are reading it from the CMA module, and CS student can understand it for a knowledge purpose. Okay. So look at this first chart, and this we have discussed in the basic concepts. Supply can be of taxable goods and exempted goods. So taxable goods means there are two types of taxable goods: normal tax rates and composition tax rate. Normal tax rate are 0%, 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%, where government is giving you input tax credit. Government doesn't mind you giving input tax credit because you are going to pay output tax. A composition dealer pays output tax at very concessional rate, 1%, 5%, and service industry pays it at 6%. Because the rates itself are very much concessional, we don't give input tax credit. If your outward supply is exempted, that means you are never going to pay tax on your outward supply, and therefore government doesn't permit you to take input tax credit as well. What will you do with input tax credit when your supply itself is the exempted supply? So what is the extended definition of exempt supply? Nil rated supply, wholly exempt supply, and supply which is non-taxable. Right now in this chapter, we are going to focus what is wholly exempted supply from tax. Power to grant exemption, I have already discussed, section 11, and IGST section 6. This gives the power. Just a minute, I will take my tequila shot. Okay. This definition is also important. What is exempted supply and zero rated supply? We will do that later on. This is a simpler chart for exemption. It can be by general exemption or special order, absolute exemption or conditional exemption. Following are the goods. First of all, we are focusing on goods which are exempted from tax. Okay, under notification number 2/2017, CTR 20th June 2017. So the exemption notification is same. Look at this. What are exempted? Live animals other than live horses. घोड़ा छोड़ के बाकी सब कुछ taxable. With the horse, government this GST law is having serious problem with the horses, and therefore they are putting very good amount of tax on horses, and there are special provisions about horses that you will understand gradually in service sector also. Why? Because it's not a commodity of poor people or middle class people. Do you purchase house here and there? Answer is no, we don't purchase house. Then who purchases house? People like Vijay Mallya and Ambani and all those people purchase houses. So it is for them. So live animal, if you purchase goat, buffalo, cow, whatever it is, then you don't have to pay tax because uh, live animals are exempt. Meat and edible meat, yes, chicken, mutton, beef, whatever you are eating, fully exempt. Fish, oh, my favorite, fish, crustaceans, molluscs, other aquatic invertebrate, whatever it is, these are seafood items. You just go and Google if you don't understand particular word. Dairy products, goat's eggs, natural honey, edible product of animal origin, not elsewhere specified. So dairy products are also exempt. Therefore, milk, curd, and those things are exempt. Human hair. Oh, human hair. Who sells human hair? This is a very big market. You can Google out human hair, unworked, whether wash, source, whatever it is. Okay. Semen, including frozen semen. I hope you understand what it is. Sperms. Okay. They sell sperms for artificial insemination. What is it? Artificial insemination means. I hope you understand what is artificial insemination. By injecting, they do the pregnancy and all. Okay, IVF, I guess they say IVF centers and all. There was a movie also, Wicked Owner or something like that. Okay, live trees, other plants, bulbs, roots, exactly like that. So trees are exempt, bulb exempt, chotu motu plant exempt. Edible vegetables, roots, tubers, potatoes, tomatoes, onions, cabbage. So lot of vegetables exempt here. Edible fruits and nuts. Okay, peel, citrus fruits, melon, coconut, fresh and dried. Okay, coconuts are exempt, banana exempt, dried dates, figs, pineapples, avocados, guavas, mango tins exempt. Coffee beans not roasted, unprocessed green leaves of tea, unprocessed green leaves. Tea nahi, tea is taxable, but unprocessed green tea is or green leaves are exempt. Cereals, okay, cereals that you understand, dal and all, okay, that is exempt. But those should not be put in container. Okay, that means open. You go to the general store or kirana store, the open item that you take. Okay, fresh ginger and all exempt. Products of mining industry, malt, starches, insulin, wheat, gluten exempt. Oil seeds exempt. Lac, gums, resins, other vegetable shafts, extract of lac and shellac. So all these things, see, if you don't know the many of this, I also don't know genuinely, I should tell you. Okay. And we know it's Hindi versions and all, Marathi version, Hindi version, original version, but we don't know the exact names. So what you can do, either you can watch cooking channels or where they use this material, or you can Google it out. Okay. Oil seeds exempt, vegetable planting material exempt, sugar and sugar confectionery cane juice, cane jaggery exempt. Okay, preparation of cereals, flour, starch, milk, those products are also exempt. Puffed rice, commonly known as murri, with that you make bhel and all. Okay, in our village we call it kurmura. Then papad exempt, oh, bread exempt, but except for the serve as the consumption and pizza. So pizza taxable, but normal bread exempt. Miscellaneous preparation, edible preparation exempt. So prasadam supplied by temples exempt. Mosque, churches, gurudwara, they supply some laddu and all, that is exempt. If you go to Siddhivinayak, I guess they charge 15 rupees or something to give the 2 laddu packet. Good taste laddu. Sai Baba Santan also. Laddu exempt. Beverages, beverages are exempt. Which beverages, sir? Obviously, it is non-alcoholic because alcoholic beverages cannot be exempt here. There is no tax on alcoholic beverage. Beverages, spirit, vinegar, water, other than aerated, mineral, purified, distilled, medicinal, lot of this. These are the branded waters, so that is taxable. Normal water is exempt. Residues and waste from food industry, okay, that is exempt. Salt, sulfur, earth, stone. So earth means soil. Soil and stones are also exempt. Okay. Pharmaceutical products, human blood and its components, they are exempt. So plasma and all, in COVID-19 people are selling their plasma, that is exempt. Organic manure, organic manure, that is also exempt. Essential oil, kumkum, bindi, sindoor, alta क्या होता है भगवान जाने, okay, that is also exempt. Miscellaneous chemical products, municipal waste, sewage waste, clinical waste, that is also exempt. Plastic and articles of thereof, plastic bangles, we have seen that in module now. Rubber articles and thereof, condoms and contraceptives, that is also exempt. Wood, you understand why when they exempted condoms, there was a lot of hue and cry in the industry because they exempted condoms, but they did not exempted sanitary napkins. So a lot of this Mahila Mandal and women committee, they had taken the what you say parade and this Hamari Mangi Puri Karo, like what is there in condom, condoms like for men that is exempted and all. So a lot of things were there, and then gradually government exempted sanitary napkins also. Wood and articles of woods, that is also exempt. Paper and paperboard exempt. Printed books, newspaper, pictures, other products of printing industry, manuscript, typewriters exempt. Raw silk exempt. Silk से साड़ी बनती है, okay. Cotton, wool, fine courses of animal hairs, horse hairs, yarn, woven fabric, that is also exempt. Cotton, nandi topi, khadi yarn exempt. Other vegetable textile fibers, coconut, jute fiber, that is exempt. Other made of textile article, that is exempt. Ceramic product exempt. Glass and glassware में bangles exempt, except made from precious metal. If you are putting gold and platinum into it, then it is taxable. Tools, implement, cutlery, cutlery, spoons, forks, that is exempt. Agriculture implements exempt. I am just reading for you. See, this is how you should also read. I don't know whether it is there in your examination or not, just because your module has prescribed it. I'm just reading for you. Okay. Optical, photographic, cinematographic, measuring, checking, precision, medical, surgical instruments are exempt. Okay. Musical instruments and part and accessories of such articles are exempt. Miscellaneous manufactured articles, slate, pencil, chalk. Okay. That is exempt. Project imports, laboratory chemicals, passenger baggage, that is also exempt. This is baggage and all you will understand in customs law. Okay, overall goods are done. So let's look at one question. Mr. Param, a registered person under GST, being a dealer, he's not manufacturer, he's just a dealer. Following business transaction took place during the Feb 2020, whatever it is. Computer GST liability. Plastic bangles. Do you remember plastic bangles taxable or exempt? Come on, please tell me. Tell me in chat box. Whatever you remember. Plastic bangles. I showed you photo also of plastic bangles. Taxable or exempt? T or E? T or E? First. Exempt. Mobile phone, do you see mobile phone anywhere in this list? Do you see mobile phone anywhere in the list? No. So mobile phone what? Taxable or exempt? Taxable. Mobile phone taxable. Very good. Sale of printed books and newspaper, they don't charge a tax on newspaper. So taxable or exempt? Taxable or exempt? Exempt. ठीक है ना? Sale of dates, खजूर, taxable or exempt? Come on, fast. Exempt. Sale of salt, namak, exempt. Sale of organic manure, taxable or exempt? जल्दी जल्दी बोलो. हाँ, okay, exempt. Sale of chemical fertilizer. Have you seen chemical fertilizer? Did I say chemical fertilizer exempt anywhere? No. So you understand, if you keep reading this list for 2-3 times, you will understand what all is exempt. Okay. Those items you should try to keep in mind. Need not to by heart word to word, and you can understand. Institute is going to ask question on common words, not a very technical goods, but still you should develop a knowledge, and therefore I told you this. Okay, in fertilizer 30% subsidy was given by the government, and I have told you in a consideration point that whenever government gives subsidy, that much amount has to be reduced from the value of supply. So here value of supply was of 5,75,000. From that 30% government subsidy you need to remove, and 70% on that you have to charge GST, and the rate of GST they have given here 2.56 GST, 2.5 GST. So that amount of GST they have charged here, and the total of GST amount is this. That's okay. Now in the next lecture we are going to talk about exempt services. Today's lecture is up to here only. Please read whatever point we have discussed up to this point, page number 89. And next lecture onwards is very important part. We have to buy out what are the exempted services, which is the primary focus of exemption chapter. Thank you all for the day. Bye bye. Take care. Your accounts lecture will start at 1:30. Don't forget. Inform your other friends. Bye bye. Tada.
Bye bye, sir.
Tata. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.